What's up, guys? It's JK Haas coming back to you guys with another video. And today we're going to be talking about the long overdue and the much awaited, you know it, you guessed it, Wonder Woman guy. This video is going to be absolutely crazy. I have been waiting a long time to make this video, and I've also just kind of wanted to make sure that I had enough knowledge, enough experience to actually make this work. So, with all of that being said, let's hop straight into it. I'm going to show you guys a lot of things. So, this character is probably one of the harder characters to play, because before you even think about playing Wonder Woman on a high level, you first have to master movement, all the way from doing stuff like this, stuff like that, all her movement tech, right? You need to know all of that, like all of this stuff. Like you have to have her like to where you can move with the character, right? If you can't move with this character, you're just not gonna be able to you're not gonna be able to play her. She's a character where movement makes her, like, you know, who she is, right? Being able to side switch, or you have to have her clean. You have to have her exactly how she needs to be in order to make her work, right? So like, she's a character that only is good if you know movement, or if you know like how to link with her or whatever, right? So that's her biggest strength is movement. So if you're going to play Wonder Woman, you have to have movement tech completely mastered. You have to know how to do all of the movement tech and everything, like, and there's so much movement tech in this game that requires for you to know it. But yeah, she has low-key now probably the she still has top 3 movement in the game, but I'm starting to feel like, because they're nerfing some of the characters who have really good movement, her movement, the purpose for her movement is becoming the best movement in the game, because her movement has purpose. So if you can move with purpose, then she low-key has some of the best movement in the game, even after they nerfed her movement. Now this is after patch 1.02, and I'll talk about what that patch did for her, the blessing in disguise, and also how she did get better. So yeah, let's go hop straight into it. So first things first with Wonder Woman is she has these little normals. Now terminology, let's just talk about terminology before we get straight into it. So I'm gonna call this 1 or neutral 1, call this forward 1 or side 1, I'll call this up 1, down 1, I'll call this 2 or neutral 2, side 2, up 2, down 2. And then airs, I'm gonna call up air, I'll call side air, which will be fair or sair, and I'll call down air dare, and I'll call neutral air nair, or I'll just say, yeah, basically that's the terminology. So this is your forward one, your string, right? I would never recommend doing that last hit, because you're kind of stuck in it, you know what I'm saying? Right, it takes a little while before you can dodge out of it, so I wouldn't recommend using that. However, your first one and your second one, you can pretty much dodge almost immediately after it, so these are your good buttons to use. So that's your forward ones. Then you have your down one. This is an armor pop. You can charge it, and it gives you a larger radius, and the more you charge it, the bigger that radius gets. And if you see that little bar where she has a shield underneath her on my character, that shield will get bigger the more that people break armor or you block projectiles. So I'll just show you for a second. I'll make him do a normal attack. So you actually get shield from them actually hitting this shield here. See how you get that charge? So you can build charge by doing it with the shield. You can build it by doing it with this. And you can also build it by blocking projectiles as well. So if he does his, I think it's down special. Yeah, down special. Right. So yeah, all of these things build shield. Whether it's a projectile or you just use it to break a hit, even this one as well. Give me a second. Anything that breaks shields on Wonder Woman, you can build charge off of it. And the thing about this thing is it's immediate. Like you can reaction do it. So this is why this move is absolutely god tier. It's one of her best moves in her kit now. You can use it like that, right? So you can actually like that, right? It's just a really good move. You can reaction and then like, yeah. So that is a pretty important piece of her kit, and the reason why it's important is because this makes it to where you can reaction block projectiles. So anytime you use your down one, you build the power that this that move does. The more you charge it, based on how much of that bar that you have filled. So this is a very good move. However, you can't cancel out of it, so it's kind of meh. But it's very good at edge guarding, because you kind of get to control a lot, and it's also a really good just ability to use to kind of just make people kind of like, okay, I either gotta press in or I gotta like go away. So some people will dodge away from you, some people try to jump in, but you do have armor once it gets to that last little bit there, so you can kind of armor through some moves, but it takes a little bit of startup. So it is a good move, it's just you gotta be careful with it. So yeah, then you have your up one. This move can be charged. You can't cancel out of it, but you can dodge immediately after it. So it's a good move to throw out like that, right? So it's a good move in that regard, but you can charge it up and you can't cancel out of it. Then you have her one, and this will be her neutral one, and that's just this move here. You can charge it up. Now this move you can actually cancel out of. You can actually, whenever you do the move, you can like move to the right and then switch directions to the left just like that. And if you do that, it means you can like, let's say if you're pressing someone and that whiffed and then you see them jump over, you can be like, oh shoot, and then you can switch directions like so. You can also do that with your side too. You can switch directions last second. You see how she's like going this way and she switches? You can do that with that button as well. So this is her normal special. It's very good on whiff, even though there's a little bit of a gap there. The better you get with this move, and because it kind of like is a very long reaching attack, you never really feel the whiff recovery on that. So that's the reason why I say it's a good move. And on hit, it's also really good as well. It's like your combo starter, it's one of your best buttons for combos, so that's cool. So that's all of your normal buttons here. So let's go over your specials on the ground as well. So again, we already talked about forward 2 a little bit. This blocks all projectiles. You can reaction block projectiles. It also will eliminate knockback. You can use it as a way to trade with players. You can also use it as a way to make it to where you don't deal with knockback of a move. Why is he going the other way? That's kind of goofy. Okay. That's, wow. Okay. I don't know what that's all about. I'll showcase it once. Give me a second here. I don't know what this guy's doing.
Get over here.
See what I'm saying? You can kind of use it to like negate some knockback of a move, right? You'll trade with the move, and it'll also negate the knockback. So let's say you do it late and you still take the damage. You can just use it to make sure that like if you don't want to, like if you're on edge and you don't want to lose your positioning, or you don't want to get sent off of the map, you can just do that. Even if it's not going to hit, you can use it to negate knockback. So that's a really cool usage of that move there. Then you have your up to. This is also a really good move as well. This move makes it to where you can immediately catch people above you, and it's very, very quick. It's a really hard move to beat. It's pretty much immediate. It's a very, very good freaking button. This is one of your best buttons in her kit, and it has a lot of properties that we'll talk about in a few seconds. And then you have your down to. This gives you armor, but it'll also give your teammate armor if you guys are close enough within the vicinity of each other. And that's pretty much all of her specials. Like they have a direction. Then you have her lasso, which is your neutral special. This move here, it's a really good move. It's one of your kill confirms, but it's also really and truly one of your pressure tools. You can use this as how you kind of get yourself longer range. So this is a very good move. You have to learn to max space it. You can follow up after it. Very few times where you get guaranteed combos off of it if you max space it like that, to where you get the sweet hit stun sweet spot. There's really not a true follow-up after that, but if you aim it inward to where you bring them down, you can actually get guaranteed combos from it. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that move. So yeah, it's a very, very good ability. However, there is another ability that is highly slept on, and we'll talk about it a bit today. We'll just talk about last for a quick second. So this one makes it to where you teleport to the person, and it's also a very good combo starter as well, because you can get guaranteed combos from it as well. People think that you just teleports, but you actually can get guaranteed combos, like so, right? So like this move does one, right? And then notice how it links, right? See what I'm saying? So yeah, you can even make it link into this. Make it link into not that. You can make it link into your nair as well, like that. So it's a very good combo starter, and it brings you to the player. So like this move is highly slept on, but trust me when I tell you, like, this is a very good move. People just don't use it enough. And it's also very good at just kind of like bringing yourself to certain spots. It's also very good on recovery. It gives her a little bit of extra recovery, like as if she needed it. She doesn't need it, but if you did, you know, want to use it, then it's very, very good. Also, another cool thing about it is it gives you a little speed boost coming off of the lasso. I'll show you what that looks like that. So it gives you a little bit of a momentum boost compared to a regular one. So yeah, no, I'll try to actually get it right one time. The timing seems to have kind of differed a little bit. There we go. So yeah, you can kind of use it to get a little bit of a boost going in that direction if you time it properly. It's very hard to time though. It's like a one frame link, honestly. But yeah, so this is a very slept on part of her kit, and it actually has a lot of usage. Now let's talk about this perk. So what this one does is it makes it to where dodging creates a barrier that blocks enemy projectiles. The barrier goes on cooldown after a successful block. So a lot of people don't really like know what this move does. However, it's pretty like self-explanatory. So like if you dodge a projectile, or you dodge through a force or whatever, you make it to where you create a barrier, and it'll completely just like kind of like destroy a projectile. But also what will happen is you can actually use this on Iron Giant, and you can completely break all of his boats by dodging through his boats. So that's another usage for this move. But you can also use this to dodge through rockets if you're going against. I'll actually just showcase it here. Will I be able to do a rocket with Bugs Bunny? I don't know if we'll be able to do it. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, he's gonna do that one. I don't think I'll be able to get him to do a rocket. Maybe I'll be able to get him to do one like this. Hold on, let's see. I just want him to do a one rocket. Do a rocket. Do a rocket. Do a rocket. Okay, you won't do a rocket. Okay, you won't do a rocket, whatever. But basically, you can use it to like dodge through a rocket, and it'll destroy the rocket. So yeah, that's a really cool usage for this move. However, this move is not really like that good. Just know like it's kind of a meh kind of move. Now, whenever you do use this move, your whip always works like the pullback one. So like there's no sweet spot. It'll just always pull your enemy back to you, right? So you see what I'm saying? Like no matter if you sweet spot it or not, it's never going to do that. So that's what it does to the whip. So yeah, obviously the best one is this one because it gives you a little bit of extra kill power without you having to go out there. However, I will say that this one kind of does the exact same thing, because not this one. This one does the exact same thing. You just get to that location, so like you can move whatever. If that was spaced properly, I think it's at 35 that it actually does link. Yeah, I think yeah. So yeah. Hopefully the game will start like that. So yeah, you have like follow-ups like that, to where you can actually use that to do legit follow-ups that have pressure, and you can do follow-ups from there. So this is actually a really good move. It's just not well known because, again, most players don't really lap their character. They just kind of go off of what they see streamers or people who are making YouTube content do. But yeah, it's a very good move. So now, since we talked about all of her lassos and specials on the ground and buttons on the ground, let's talk about her aerial combat, which is where she really shines. So she has her fair or Sair. That's this move right here, so that's good. Her dare, right? She has her up air, this one right here. Now this move is pretty unique, and we'll talk about it in a second. And she has her nair, right? So this is neutral air, this is up air, this is down air, this is side air or fair, forward air. So those are our aerial smashes. Then she has her aerial specials. This will be side special, aerial side special. This will be aerial up special, same thing as the down on a ground up special, right? And then she has aerial down special, which will be the same thing on the ground as well. And then she has air neutral special, which will be the same thing on the ground as well. So the only one that changes from her aerial whenever it comes to specials is your side air. And this is really good because after the changes that they've made from patch 1.02, you can actually do this move immediately from the ground. It's no longer like weird to hit, it's always there. And it allows for you to do some tech that we'll talk about in a bit. So yeah, very good piece of her kit. So yeah. Now, since you know all of her buttons, let's talk about the properties of these buttons. So first things first, we'll talk about it in a 2v2 format. So her, let me just make this guy a teammate real quick. The reason why Wonder Woman is one of the best teammates in the game is because she can give her teammate armor in 5 different ways. So one of them is this. That gives your teammate armor for that long. One of them is this, gives your teammate armor for that long. It's this, gives your teammate armor for that long. Another one is this, gives your teammate armor for that long, right? And another one is this, gives your teammate armor for this long. So yeah, she has many different ways to give her teammates armor, and all of those, oh, I forgot, did I do this one already? I think I did, but yeah. All of these give your teammate armor, which means you can legit kind of play one of the best supports in the game. Support means backline, by the way, and just kind of like do this because you kind of like help them, like put a hitbox there, and then at the same time you're also giving them a boost, right? You can also dodge in and do that, right? Because this one gives a longer boost than the rest. You can also do like this and kind of do like that, right? So she has a bunch of different ways. She could also be in the backline, pull them out of a combo and give them armor at the same time. And then also you can just be away from them and then kind of do like that and give them armor, right? So like one of the really good things you can do is you can do like this and then like bomb, right? You get what I'm saying? You can just kind of like double armor or whatever. So yeah, she has a lot of different ways. Or instead of doing it like that, you can do like this and then like this, right? Because it doesn't matter if you're grounded or aerial, like this move will always give armor, right? So yeah, that's a really good way to just kind of double armor, right? Like that. So it makes it to where if you're in the middle of a combo and you do this, like your teammate is going to be able to tank a bunch of hits. So this is a very good part of her kit. This is kind of one of the most slept on parts of her kit, is that she can give her teammate a lot of armor. But I want you guys to be aware that lasso pulls people out of hit stun and it gives them armor. So you can use it to save your teammate, not just for combos. A lot of people do not use lasso enough. It's like one of the least used move in lower elos. So yeah, that's all of her kind of like specialties with her kit. We already talked about how this blocks projectiles. This now blocks rocket, and it'll make the rocket go away. So yeah, this is a very, very good character. She can really kind of deal with projectile characters easily now. She was able to block Jerry before, but since they buffed the move, now she can reaction block Jerry, so that's really cool as well. I'll just show you guys what that looks like. Let me put him here, and I'll make him do ultra special. Hopefully he does it my way. So yeah. So now you can just reaction block. Oh, see the animation? Get him out of there, right? I'll try to do it with the Jerry, because I don't know if you guys know it or not, but like whenever Jerry actually slaps, see how I'm blocking all of those? See how Jerry's hit is blocking? You can also move Jerry yourself. But those hits right there, see how I'm getting hit? You can block those as well by actually doing this. So you completely counter Jerry with Wonder Woman as well. So yeah, this is very, very good for Wonder Woman because she can completely just kind of neuter projectile characters. And again, like I said, if you use that, you build bar. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what all that was. See what I'm saying? You see how I was building bar, right? So yeah, just know like you get a lot from actually going against projectile characters. Your character becomes stronger. So yeah, that's everything about Wonder Woman with her specials and how all of that works. So now let's talk about one of the obvious things, which is neutral or whiff recovery, because whiff recovery is one of the most important things. So you can get a combo off of this move if you space it properly. You have to be kind of like directly on them like this, but you can get a combo from it. I don't believe I'll be able to because the health is too high, but like if you're low, this actually combos. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get it actually happen here like that. Yeah, so you can get a combo off of that on lower healths, so that's pretty cool. But for the most part, this move is pretty tough on whiff. Like it takes a little while, right? So just know that this is not a move you want to just throw out willy-nilly. You want to do it off of reaction or to reaction trade with someone's attack that you don't want to deal with. But just keep in mind that the armor comes out immediately, but it still takes a little bit of time. So like you kind of want to like not predict or preemptively, but just be aware that hey, he's like normally doing this move after this set of move or whatever. So you kind of want to have it in your mind before, because you have to kind of get that armor to come out really quickly. So it's a good move, but it's very bad on hit and whiff. So the timing doesn't change on hit, and the timing doesn't change on whiff. It's the exact same. So this is not a good whiff move. And then for your up special, this is a very good move because it has no whiff recovery. You can throw it out and immediately get up out of there, right? So it's one of your moves that just kind of like you get in, get out, whatever, right? So it's one of your best moves, right? Same thing with your dare. You can throw your dare and kind of immediately get up out of there. It does have a little bit of whiff recovery, but it's not really felt because of how high up you can space this move. So you're not really punishable whenever you do that move. Now your fair is a different story. Fair has I'll do it over here. Fair has a bit of whiff recovery. You can actually feel that, but it's not enough to like be like, oh wow, that's scary, right? You can do the move and then immediately be able to get yourself back to the spot that you want to be at. But it does have whiff recovery, so just be mindful. Since it's already a move that has quite a bit of startup, you can like kind of get yourself in trouble by using that move not properly. So yeah, that's a good move. Then your nair also has a bit of whiff recovery, not a lot though, just enough to where if you miss, you could kind of have to deal with getting punished here. The only reason why this move is punishable and why the fair is punishable is because they have long kind of animations, you know what I mean? So like if you do the move, like you have to sit out through the animation, but the animations themselves are very, very good. However, your fair is one of your better moves. So just be I don't know why my controller keeps I don't even know what's causing the crackling, honestly. I don't know what causes the crackling, so let's just hope that it got fixed. But yeah, I'm listening to my audio as it goes so that way I can tell it happening. But yeah, so this is a certain level of kind of like awareness that you need to have with this move, because this is not a move that you can throw out willy-nilly and then just automatically be safe from. So you have to be very careful. And since the hitbox kind of changed with this move is not as consistent as it used to be. You still can combo from it, but you just have to be very careful because you have to be very close. which also makes this move very good, because now you can kind of really space this move like how you want, right? You don't have to really ever be in there, so you can kind of like micro space it, right? Like that. So that way, if like you wanted to make this move like kind of like be spaced how you wanted to, you can kind of like micro adjust it, right? So your fair is one of your best buttons. Now your up air is a very, very unique button. This move has no whiff recovery whatsoever. It's a very quick move, so it's pretty safe. This is one of the reasons why Wonder Woman is a good character, because she can do that, right? And just kind of like auto neutral, right? You know what I'm saying? Like she can kind of just do whatever she wants with it, right? So yeah, that's a very, very good button. So it's not risky whatsoever. Same thing with your up air. That's why she's a vertical dominant character. She dominates vertically and like right here as well, because that's very, very nice. Now, just because like this move doesn't have any whiff recovery doesn't mean that it's like an easy move, right? Now, one thing that you have to do to kind of be like aware of is whenever you do hit, there's this little decay that happens, right? But on whiff it doesn't happen because you haven't hit anything. But anytime you actually land that kick on a player and you try to do another one, there's going to be a little bit of a delay. So you can't like just up air really, really fast, like how fast I'm doing it on whiff. If you actually land this on hit, you will not be able to get that to happen. So I just wanted to make you guys very aware of that. So you actually have to mix up your kit if you're trying to kill off the top. And I'll show you guys what that looks like whenever we go over combos. So yeah, Wonder Woman is a character where like she has very, very good neutral in the air. Same thing with this move. Now this move has some whiff recovery, not a lot, but it's definitely enough to where it can slow you down. But since Wonder Woman already has like god tier movement that zoops, they have a very short window to kind of punish. But since people don't really use this move, it's not really like well now. Now Wonder Woman has a little bit of tech, but it's becoming more inconsistent over time. So if you do like your aerial and then you fast fall, you are able to get another one really quickly, but it's becoming very inconsistent. I'll try to get it once. Yeah, it's becoming very, very inconsistent. I don't think it even works anymore after the patch. I think they might have patched this out. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it works anymore, because I would have gotten it by now. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, so they take that out of the game. Before, she can use it to where if you fast fell and you were hovering close to the ground, you could do really two quick side airs. Side special airs, like really, really quickly without any whiff recovery. You were able to kind of cancel the whiff recovery, but also what it made it do is like you could like throw this out and immediately be able to dodge out like that, and then kind of like negate the whiff recovery, but it doesn't work anymore. Now the whiff recovery for this move is still going to be the same, but before like you were able to do that move and immediately dodge out of it, right? Whenever you fast fell to the ground, but that whiff recovery is still there. So I think they patched that out, which was probably nice, because it really made it to where she was kind of hella unfair. She can do this and then immediately just like whatever, right? So yeah, it's not in the game anymore. That's cool. So yeah, these are all of her kind of whiff recovery like moments on her kit. Now this move, it's pretty much immediate off of whiff, but because the armor like pops out immediately, like this is cool and everything, but it's not really like effective. But just know like you can throw that move out and then immediately kind of like blink off it. Like this is a mix that I like to do, right? Like that, even though it's not true. It's not true at all. It's still like a fun mix to do, right? Even though it's not true, just know you can like throw this move out and then immediately kind of cancel out of it, right? So yeah, same thing with this one. Throw it out and you can cancel out of it, right? So these are all like very good buttons that she has off of whiff. Now this move is very, very bad on whiff. It's kind of like one of your more punishable ones, but again, if you space it properly, you probably won't like even feel it anyway. So that's pretty much that. Now let's talk about lasso. Lasso you can immediately cancel. That's the reason why I love this move. So like whether it's on hit or whiff, you can immediately cancel once the move is kind of like finished its regular animation. So you can do stuff like that, right, to where you can punish immediately. Or if it whiffs, like, okay, I missed, but it's gonna force you to either dodge into or away. So you can like whiff it and then purposely like do something like that to where it's still a frame trap, right? So you can frame trap with this move. So you can use it as a way to kind of get in. If you're going against a character who has like armor or whatever, you can use this as a way to force a dodge out of them, or force them to kind of like tank the move, and then you can follow it up with this really quickly and then punish or whatever, right? So that's her whiff recovery. Same thing aerial, you can immediately get out of it. So you use the move and then you're immediately up out of there. So yeah, that's everything for her kit, as far as like specials and whiff recovery and hit recovery. So a lot of these moves are really kind of the same. Like, she doesn't have too many moves in her kit that kind of change on hit or whiff. They kind of keep the same frame data on hit and whiff. The only one that's a little bit different is that move right there. That move is different on hit than it is on whiff. But all the rest kind of keep the same frame data. Now, I want you guys to know you can kind of like pop this and then immediately kind of get out of it. So like once her shield kind of comes down, you finish that animation, you can kind of immediately get out of it. A lot of people, they'll pop it and then they'll stay there. You pop it and then you can dodge out, right? Like that. So just keep that in mind. So that's everything about her kit that's based off of hit or whiff. So now I'll show you guys a little few tricks or tips that I've found, but again, it kind of goes with movement. So anytime you're playing with Wonder Woman, because of the dispatch and what it did, now her hitbox is only her, not the sword. Now like this animation actually lowers your hitbox quite a bit, so you can actually use this to kind of like you can use to kind of bring your hitbox like away from you. So like if you're here and you know somebody's about to attack you, you can use this. You see how it brings your hitbox away from you? They would have to have a very low hitting attack, because if it aims in the mid, you see how like my body went backwards, your hitbox is actually backwards as well. So you can use this kind of space a little bit, and you can also use this to like make it to where only the sword hits, and only the sword is a hitbox, right? So she got hella strong. Same thing with this one. Her hitbox is way up there, which means she's like pretty much like hella hard to punish for doing a dare, because her hitbox is where her body is, and her sword is not a hitbox. So she got hella strong after this patch. I think now she's actually S tier, like high S tier, one of the best characters in the game, honestly, after the hitbox changes, because that made her so much better. Also, one thing that's really cool is because of the hitbox changes, crouching actually makes your hitbox like this now, so you can actually like low profile a lot of stuff. I actually showcase this. Let me see who has a somewhat I don't know who I would be able to do. Let's do Shaggy. I think Shaggy has a little bit of loop. Yeah, I'll do Shaggy. Let's see if I can get this to work with Shaggy's. We'll do down special. So now you can actually just like, since your hitbox is not the same, watch out. See if I can hit it right. So that's right around the sweet spot. He's throwing it low now. Go get it. So yeah, you can pretty much, and look, this will hit, but now you can actually just reaction duck these, and because your hitbox is actually low enough. So just know like you can actually like start to actually have a skill gap by actually low profiling moves now, since the hitbox and the hurtbox changes are actually effective. So now your hitbox is actually this. So you can actually low profile a lot of moves and then immediately like cancel out of it. So yeah, you can like duck and then like try to punish. So this is starting to feel more and more like MK11, where you would used to do like duck tech. So you were like I forgot what we called it, mini ducking or short ducking. I forgot what we called it. But yeah, we used to like we'll duck the first two moves and then immediately punish. Now you can actually do this with some characters' hitboxes. Like for example, who's one of them? I believe Superman is one of them. Who's another character? I believe Shaggy's. You can do it with what's his name? I can't think of his junk. Watch, I'll try it. I'll actually showcase a few of these. So I'll do this with Morty's. What's the actual ability? It's his normal attack, right? Yeah, normal attack. not that one. What is it? Is it his? No, I think it's his up air or whatever. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll try it with his as well. Just know, like, since these hitboxes are accurate, his is too low. I'm trying to find a character's hitbox who hits like kind of vertically upward. Not Finn's up air or up smash. Not Harley's either. I'm not too sure, but like, you guys go ahead and lab it out. And I'm pretty sure, because I've done it before, and that's what actually made me like, okay, wow, what? But yeah, like for example, Iron Giant has a few. You can actually like duck under a lot of his attacks. Superman, you can do it with his up air. Whenever he's like angling down, you can kind of like short hop it. Not short hop it. You can mini duck it. So yeah, just know that you can like low profile a lot of moves in the game. You can also do it with the rocket. You can also low profile his what you call it. I can't remember the names of none of these moves for some reason. Like I don't know what's going on. See. He doesn't have any more. See what I'm saying? You can low profile it now. I'm just trying to show you guys like how you can actually like use this in a competitive format. So just know that crouching in this game with Wonder Woman is very, very good. So now since we went over that, let's talk about again some things that you can do to kind of make her a little bit better. So while you're doing all your aerial movement and all that, because number one, she has some of the best aerial movement in the game. The only reason why she's not number one is because Superman's dodge is better than hers, and because Batman can dodge vertically upwards from neutral. That's the only reason why she's not, you know, number one or whatever. So whenever you're doing like movement, you can like kind of like jump and space stuff backwards like this. Once you master this, you immediately become like 10 times better of a character, because now since her hitbox is kind of away from her, you can use this to kind of like don't come chase me. You can't touch me, but at the same time you're like, I can hit you with something, and then you can hit confirm off of that into this, right? So yeah, she has hella good movement, and like, yeah, just kind of like try to be mindful of like how good you can space buttons, because her kit is really like, you see what I'm saying? Like right there, like this alone is very, very hard to punish. You can kind of make this super safe just by doing that into that or into that. So yeah, like she can kind of like really like do a bunch of cheesiness, right? Like that. So yeah, she has a lot of options that she can do. Same thing here, like if you wanted to space your kick this way or this way, you can kind of like space this kick wherever you want it to be at. These are all like very important pieces, especially for this up air, because this up air has a unique property. So for example, I actually showcased this because I was supposed to go over this before, but I'll actually just do it now. So depending on how you space this weapon, you can make it hit like this, right? Or you can make it hit like this. Let me see if I can try to get it. Like that. You see how it'll angle them down? You can actually get a guaranteed combo off of that. Like that, and you can get a combo off of that into this, that combos into this, into that, all that. So yeah, just know that you're there. I mean, you're up aired. Like, if you angle it right like that, you can actually get a combo off of it, and you can actually use this to spike. This is actually one of your better spikes, because what it does is it kind of has a multi-hitbox. So like one thing I want you guys to kind of get, number one, this dare just got like so much better, because like after the patch 1.02, this move got hella better after patch. So this is now her like dare game is like really freaking good, really freaking good. What's also really cool is you can actually like do this, and this is actually also a really good dare, because again, you kind of like, if someone like, if you do this or whatever immediately followed into this, it's kind of like a double dare, right? So it's like this move will hit, but if they jumped above you, then you kind of like option select. So this becomes a 75-25. It's not an option select because there is tech that can get them out of it. But like if you do this and into that, just like that, you kind of like get it in between like that, you can actually like immediately like, even like right here, like if you do that, see how that move kind of like gets in between? that becomes an active hitbox. Like you can actually send some people if they like try to like edge guard you, like off of the edge right here. See how that hitbox kind of goes through the terrain like that? That becomes an active hitbox, right? Because any move that goes through the terrain like this, it's actually, you can actually send someone off the edge this way by actually doing this. So I like to do this and then really followed up with this, because remember that back part of her kick sends them like that, right? So anytime you land this move, or anytime you dare and you're still trying to like get them to go this way, don't do it this way, because that'll send them back onto zone, or it'll make them if you do it like this and it actually lands, it'll probably make them wall bounce off of here, and then it'll send them this way. So you just gotta kind of be careful with it. But I always aim it this way, so that way I send them into the blast zone. So you can like kind of, you can actually use this as your own dare. So like you can be like bomb and then do like that as well. So yeah, and just aim it. So yeah, it's a very good move. Another really good like thing that you can do, a lot of people don't do it, but you can actually like edge guard with that as well. You can only bring it so far down, but a lot of people don't use this. It actually can go through terrain like that. So you can use it as a free way to kind of get edge kills without actually having to go down there yourself. So like if you see a Superman camping you and you have the edge guard, if you have the lasso, be like, all right, you can stay right there, bomb, kill, and then you can follow it up with this or something like that, right? So yeah, you have options, a lot of options, or you can instead do like an edge boosting, something like that. Hold on, I should case it one more time. I'm tripping. Like that, something like that. So yeah, you have a few options to kind of deal with people who are like dealing on the ledge, but she already has pretty good like advantage play, especially now since this move just got so much better. So yeah, like you can just do that and then get back up top. So yeah, if you haven't watched my movement guide, that's automatically going to make like your character like 10 times better, just knowing like what you can do. Like that, stuff like that, where I talk about that. So yeah, movement with her is very god tier. So now since we've gone over all of her kind of her playstyle and whatnot, let's talk about combos, because this character is only going to be as good as her juggles and her combos. This is the most important part of her kit. So for all the people who are kind of waiting for the main thing to kind of happen, this is going to be the most important part of her kit outside of movement, because I'm not going to go over movement. I have other videos on that, but her combos are the most important part of her kit. So let's get to talking about them. So I am convinced that I am the only Wonder Woman who plays her the way that is optimized. And it's not to like to say anything about me, it's just I don't believe people have been labbing Wonder Woman anymore, because she's already like super good, and once you like learn her basic combos, it's like, alright, cool, that's enough for me to kind of wreck house. But she has so much more linkages that people are not using. She actually has infinites. Now they're hard to hit because you have the reactive DI read, but they are possible. I've done this in the lab, and I've also done it against my friends in custom. So let's talk about it. So obviously everyone knows that she can, hold on, he's a teammate. She can do combos off of this, right? So this links into each other. Hold on, give me a second. Alright, so we all know that that links into each other. That's cool and everything. Also, this links, right? Oh, he's still jumping for some reason. Cool. So we all know that this links as well. Why is that keep happening? My goodness. Right, you can do that, right? And that links as well. So that's all cool and that's all dandy. And you can link it into that or whatever, right? So yeah, she has a lot of combos, right? So that's one of her combo linkages, right? But another thing that people are not really doing is she can link from this into that, right? So only a few good Wonder Woman's actually doing this, because that's a really good combo. And you can get 2 hits from it, but you can also get this and then lead into that like that, right? Now the timing for that is very specific, but it's not too bad to hit like that. It is a true combo. I'll just try to get it once here. I don't like to use my dodges to kind of make it faster. I just like to do it the simple way. But if you jump in between like that, you can actually make it to where that is easier to link. So it's like kind of like It's kind of like up to you how you kind of want to use it, but some people jump so that way it's true like that and it's easy to hit. So you can like jump after you do your first one, but I don't like doing that because sometimes it can over hit. So sometimes I'll just do a dodge and then do it like that, right? Now, the way to make this work is you want to dodge into, so like whenever you land this hit, you want to dodge into your opponent, right? But when you do your up two, you want to up two this way, right? So that way you're like that, right? So that way you're bink like that, bink 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 bink. That's how you kind of want to do it. So you want to like kind of angle it this way, so that way whenever it's time for you to do this, it automatically links. So that's kind of like the trick to that, right? So you do this, right? See what I'm saying? It'll naturally pull them in the opposite direction. So doing like this makes it to where it's easier for you to link. So I would always recommend, if you're going to do this, do it like that, to where you're going back to the opposite side. Now if you want, you can also do it like into disadvantage, but you're going to have a harder time linking because it's not going to go into disadvantage as much as you want it to. See what I'm saying? You're going to have to switch. So if you don't want to get the true combo, then you could just do like that if you want, or you can do like this and then just link it that way, so that way you send them into disadvantage if that's what you were looking for. But again, it's going to take them away, it's going to bring them back, right? Very few times does it bring them forward. You have to kind of max space this button, so like you have to kind of get a lot of forward momentum, so you would have to do something like that. Now that also links as well, so like doing like this to that also works as well. It's just their spacing has to be pretty tight. You can even do it off ledge, like for example, let's say like that works as well. It's just like the spacing for it has to be like really tight. So yeah, it's all possible. It's just very hard to hit. So I normally don't like actually go for anything except that. That's what I normally go for, just because it gives me the combo damage and it's fairly easy. But another reason why I don't really fish for this is because this is cool and everything, but again, you're kind of losing like all the work that you did. You're kind of sending them back into mid. So I only use this if it's a side switching combo, right? Because then you could like follow it up with that, right? You can do whatever you want. Sometimes it's better to just do like this and then do like that, right? So if you're like all the way on edge, this would be the combo that I would use. You would do that, and then just send them towards that side, right? So that would be really good, because you can actually do like this as well. Hold on, I'll try to actually link it here. Let's see if I can actually get it. Let's see, give me a second. I'll try to get it. Like that. So yeah, you can do that as well. That's actually a true combo. But again, like it's hard to hit because you kind of have to read the eye. But what I'm doing is I'm doing this move, jumping, and then hitting again, and that'll hit. It's just you have to read the eye, so it's not easy to hit, but it is possible. So yeah, just know that that is a thing that you can do, and it actually is a true combo. Here we go. So yeah, that is a true piece of a combo, but in order to hit that, you have to like do this and then jump and then do it. So yeah, just know that that's the only way to make that actually be true, because if you just do it like this, it will not link. But if you hit this from neutral, then you can do it and it'll automatically link into this. So that's another true combo that you have. So yeah, that's a really good piece of your kit. Now another cool thing is you can actually link this, instead of doing two like that, you can actually link it into this. And this is what I use because that's the best one. So doing this into that. Now the way to do it is you would do the move, you momentum dash, momentum jump into your opponent. So blink. Hold on, I'm tripping. Like that. This is a very good move. Your timing has to be really tight though, so just be mindful of that. Yeah, that's actually hella funny that they say it. But your timing has to be very tight in order to make this link. But a lot of people are not ready for it anyway, so you can do it and it kind of just immediately be there. But it does link. You guys saw it before. So like you can actually do like 1, 2. I don't know what's going on right now, bro. Like, this is a tragedy. I don't know what's going on right now. like that, and that links as well. Today's just a bad combo day for me, but just know like you can link this into that. It's not even doing it now. That's kind of an atrocity. There we go. And you can link it like that. And remember how we talked about how if you do this, anytime you land one of these, you can link it into that. So you can actually kind of like bring someone across into disadvantage by doing this, which is the reason why I say go for. Why is that keep happening? That's kind of a tragedy. There we go. I would recommend doing that because you can do it, send them into this way, do like that, and you can kind of carry them all the way into disadvantage off of a true combo. I'll try to get it once because like I'm really not liking that this is failing. Because it's actually not even that bad. Like I don't know what's going on. Anyways, alright, it's not working. I'll just do it on Superman. His hitboxes are easier. I would do it on Iron Giant, but he won't go as far. But just know, like, this is something that works. It just takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to. No, I just can't do it. I'm not even gonna like keep going crazy with this. Yeah, whatever. I quit. It's like literally I'm dodging and jumping and it's just not happening. I don't know what's going on. I do know my game is lagging. I'm getting frame skipped. This will happen if you stay in the customs game for too long. But anyways, just know that that's something that you can do. You can link this off of that into this, into that. And it's not hard at all, but for some reason, I believe this is due to the hitbox changes. But yeah, it is possible, and it is a very, very good piece of her kit. I would recommend you kind of always get used of it. So yeah, another thing you can kind of do with her nair, you can kind of like angle it forward and back. So like you can do like that, see, forward and back. So you can kind of like, see what I'm saying? See how I did that, right? So you can use your nair as a way to kind of like cheese people. See how I switched the side? So I hit them first this way. So if you hit a nair, you can kind of like, oh shoot, but I don't want to send them back to mid. So let me send them into that way, right? You get what I'm saying? And this actually can combo. Give me 1 second. I'll try to get myself higher up. You can combo into that. Like that. So yeah, just know that you actually have a few bit of combos from this move, and also this combos into this as well, by the way. So you can do this as well too, right? You can even do this into that. These are all like low level combos, so like you can only do these at lower health. Just know like you have a good bit of combos that you can do with her kit. My game is skipping quite a bit, I do apologize, but yeah. So that's like her basic combo stuff, right? So let's talk about like actual like juicy combos. So like number one, you can do the same thing with this move, right? So if you land this move, it links into this. So anytime you land this move, you can just kind of link it into that as well, like that. So yeah, that's a true combo as well, and this works at all levels. So that's very, very, very good. Keep that in mind whenever you're playing her. So you can actually use this as a neutral button. So that way you can kind of space off of it like that, and then kind of press off of it, get pressure off of it. Another really good thing that she has is she can do this into this. This is one of her better combos because it sends them upwards, and then like you immediately get the pressure from it. Even though like this part is true here, like you lose the that's true as well. Even though this is cool, like you lose like a lot of your true factor, but like that's a beautiful combo, right? So that's the combo that's kind of like juicy. So like that's one of them that can really kind of like take somebody for a loop. It's just very, very hard to hit, but this also links true as well. It's just one of those ladder combos. So these are like your bread and butter combos right there, right? Those are the ones that you want to use. But now let's talk about the one that people are not using at all. That's actually one of her best ones. So anytime you land, and this is the reason why I say a lot of people are not playing her properly. So anytime you land a up special, or any move that links into up special, right? You actually have this frame, and this works at, I'll just do this at all levels, right? She has dare loops, so I'll put this on. It doesn't matter which character they are. Now assassins, it stops working at, I believe, around 90, but for tanks it works all the way up to 100. But at those levels, it's like you wouldn't even need to do a dare loop, because you would just be able to insta kill anyway on the light characters, and then for the tanks you could just insta kill with your aerial combo. So anytime you land this up to, give me a second, anytime you land this up to, it links into your dare. Now since here, I want you guys to take note of this, because this is like one of the most important pieces of this kit. Anytime you do this move and you link it into this, now I know I'm on a fat hitbox, so let me actually switch it up. I'll choose one of the skinnier characters, so that way you guys know I'm not capping. Since the patch change kind of happened, it made it to where her dare now is like easier to hit, like hella easy to hit. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, it's hella easy to hit. So that's good, because before her dare was a noodle. So now, like, linking this into this is now hella easy, which makes her dare loops much more easy. And no one was doing it before patch except me. But this is a very good part of her kit. But now it's hella easy to hit. So now, like, before patch, you had to like do it and then move your character like to the left, and so you can hit it like that, right? Before you had to do all that. Now you can kind of just like go like this, and it just auto works, right? So like now DIing with this move like is not as much of a pain. Before, like, you would have to like kind of like do it like this, and then like move it like this, or like you would do it like that and then move it like that, like, and it would become very inconsistent like you're seeing, right? But now you can just kind of just go straight up, and it just automatically connects. So this makes hitting this very easy. Now I know what you're thinking, but what if they go too high like you're seeing right now? Then how are you going to get this to link? I'll show you guys. So the reason why this always works at every level all the way up until 90 is because you can do it and jump. Hold on, I'll show you guys. Give me a second. See, I jumped right there, right? I don't know if you guys can tell, but I jumped, and you see how it still links. It's still a true hit combo. This makes it to where you can do it and like reaction DI and still make it true, right? So like I'll show it here. See what I'm saying? See how that's still true? This makes it to where no matter where the player DIs, you can immediately do it, and it links into all of that, right? Now that's the baby combo. That's just the easy one, right? But you actually can get so much more from this. You can, one, you can link it into itself over and over again. So like, actually I'll try to get this. I'll put it on a lower health just because it's easier for me, and I don't feel like actually having to react to DI. You can get up to 51 from this. Hold on. I'll do the first one with the like this. Okay, I'll just DI because I don't want to like. See what I'm saying? So yeah, that's possible with their kit. Now it's not easy to do, but you can DI. Like if you know you're gonna miss it, you can just DI and then do it yourself. Now what's cool about this? Remember how we talked about like how if you remember how we talked about if you land one of these, you can do that, right? So what this means is if you have them high enough health, you can actually like do this and then follow it up into this, right? And then you get these bigger juicy combos, right? So now like this becomes a thing. Hold on, I actually messed it up. My fault. I messed it up again. Give me a second to get this right. It's not easy, but it's not too bad either. I'm just kind of making mistakes. But yeah, showcase it. I'm not fast falling at the proper time. Give me a second. Let me just get used to this. I should just DI. I try to do it without the DI because my brain doesn't feel like trying right now, but it is possible. I'll try to get it once at least. My goodness. Like that, and you can actually link that and make that a true combo. So I'll do it off of one here. Give me a second. I'm tripping. I'm fumbling the bag right now so hard. See, I would jump right there and then send him back down. like that, and then link it, and it is an infinite. That's how you infinite with her kit. It's just it's not as easy as other infinites in the game, but it is possible. I've done it before. Just know, like, you can actually link that, and it does work. So yeah, it's not too hard, but it's just like your timing and like the positioning that you have to do is like it's very, very tight. Yeah, another thing that you can do is like this into that as well. That links, and you can actually use kind of like do the same thing. I'll try to get it one more time, because I actually like doing this into that, into like combos that send them off edge, so that way you can like but it's not working right now. Again, all of these require like specific spacing. They're all a lot easier to do after the patch, but they're still like not the easiest thing. There we go, that's what I was looking for. So like that does like, I believe 38% or something like that. And then the moment that my actual hit stun gets back, it doesn't work. Alright, so yeah, that is the easiest one to hit, and it sends them into disadvantage. This is like where all your bread butter. So like anytime you land this, like actually like doing linking like your dares into this is now like, that's the combo that you should be going for, right? So like just know that you can link that into that, and you can jump to space it. So this is like the true like combo potential of like Wonder Woman. Actually like jumping after you do your up special to link these into each other, and then going into that. And your best like follow up is to do like into that, so that way you can get these, right? So yeah, that's like kind of her like meta for her kit, doing it into that, right? Like that, right? Now again, like I said, if you don't want to, so I'll just do the simple one here without all the dare loops. So you don't want to have to deal with all of the craziness or the schematics or whatever, right? You can just do this. I'm timing my jump too early, but I'm also not jumping high enough. So I'll just do it like this. Do it like that. Give me a second. I'll get it right. And you could do like that, and you can follow it up with another up to like that. So that's another one of her combos that's pretty easy. It's just like requires like spacing and timing and practice. But yeah, all of these combos that I'm doing, they're not too hard. It's just my game is skipping a bit, and I haven't done them in a while because I haven't been playing Wonder Woman myself in a bit. But she is one of my best characters. Just know like she has a lot of combos. They require good timing, but they are possible, and it is fun as heck. She probably has the harder combos in the game to use, but they are really nice. So yeah, these are like her combos that really make her shine. So now let's talk about like combos, out of all the combos that you've just seen me do, let's talk about like some of your kill confirms. So like, let's say you get a character, like whatever, like a lot of people, they're just doing the ladder one, right? Even though the ladder one is very good, right? And you can kill. Notice how it's not guaranteed right there, right? Right? So it's like you don't really kill with that. So like then people have started doing this one, right? Which is that one, which would have jumped in between your up air into your up, your up special into your up air, right? But again, notice how it still does not kill. So then people are like, okay, well then I'll fish for this, and then I'll go into this, right? Like that, right? But notice how it doesn't link, right? So now it's like, okay, well what do I do? So then people started doing that, right? Or they would do this, into that. So then people learned that that started killing. So then they started doing that. I actually get it to link one time. My game is skipping like crazy. It's actually not going to allow me to get this on time. See, that delay is just like from the game skip. I don't know if you guys can tell it in the game, but like it's just like it's skipping my inputs. Yeah, it's just skipping my inputs, whatever. Anyways, then people started doing that because they wanted it to be true. However, that doesn't really link, and it doesn't kill. So you need to have a way to kind of kill in this game really fast without having that gap right there where they can dodge, right? So here's the combo that you should do, right? You do this, into that. I'll show you guys what that looks like. Give me a sec. And that is actually very nice because you can follow it up. It sends up very high compared to all the others. You just have to have your spacing correct. This is one of your best combos because it sends higher than all the rest, and this will kill so many players. Now, this is a very high vertical map, so just know that it does work. Now, the way to make it link all the time is you would do big jump like that, right? You see how I'm doing the big jump, so you would do it and then big jump, so that way that links, right? So whenever you do this move, your next follow-up, if it doesn't kill, could be to go into your up air. So you could do like this. Hold on 1 second. You can link into that, right? Or if you want, you could actually just go into another one fair. The Nair did get harder to work. This used to be easier offline. I mean, this used to be easier before, but because the Nair got worse after patch, it makes this harder to hit. So like a lot of her stuff is just inconsistent to what it used to be. So like I'm having to adjust like all my timings for everything. But yeah, that is your best linkage for you trying to get a vertical kill that's like a hit confirm. Even though it's a little bit requires a little bit more timing and like buttons than just doing the regular disc, right? Because that's good as well, but it just doesn't send as high. This will kill more, so like it's just a little bit different to time. But yeah, that's one of your best linkages. Another really good linkage that you have is doing this to that, right? So this is pretty good because you can do like that, and you can kind of go like follow it up into that. So like I use this one quite a bit. This is one of my most used ones, and I'll do it into that. The problem is it just doesn't link because this move sends too high. But you can follow it up with that to try to get that last little bit if they dodge down, and it does catch. It's just very, very hard to make that true. So again, you can place that button right there though. That so always, if you're going to try to go for a Q, you can do that, and then just immediately follow it up with that. So that's one of the ways you can kill, but again, there's that huge gap, but that'll kill hella early compared to everything else that you'll see in her kit. And it kind of works the same with this one. You kind of, like, while you're doing, like, mixes, like, that's a really, really good one. It's just that you have to, like, kind of rotate from these. You have to rotate from your up airs into this, into up air, into this, to up air, into that. You always have to rotate, or you're going to get this lockout state, right? Where if that hits, see how it takes a little time before that hits again, or if this hits, if it's not in that combo, you will not be able to get that to link. So just kind of be mindful of that. It's also a really nice one as well. The only reason why I don't use this one is because like the follow-up after is pretty rough, right? Like, see what I'm saying? Like the follow-up after is pretty janky. So I don't really like using that one. I always do this one into this one because the follow-up from this into that is very, very easy to do. So yeah, they're kind of like her hit confirms. They're not too bad. Like most of them are pretty easy. They just require like for you to have knowledge of like short jump and big boy jump, which is whenever you hold down the jump button. Most of them are pretty easy. It's just they require a little bit of timing. So yeah, it is possible depending on your spacing. And also just like timing as well. So like if you time this like at the very tip, like my game is skipping so bad it's not even funny. If you time just the very tip of the attack, this becomes hella easier to land because you're kind of in the air higher anyway. So yeah, just know like it's one of those things where like depending on like how much you know about the character's kit, you can kind of make it happen. So that's kind of like a lot of her combos there. So again, you have the dare loops, right? I actually do it whenever they're pretty high like this, so like 100. Again, that'll happen a lot, and what'll happen if you see this happening a lot, the reason why it's happening is because you're like jumping, you're pressing your down button too early. See that I do this one the most because I press my down button too fast, but you got to let the jump sit. Like it may look like you don't have enough time, but you will. You just have to DI read, so give yourself time to think because it'll work. So yeah, it's one of those good combos. You can actually do it like this as well. So if you land this, you can just like do that and then bink like that, Or if you didn't want to do that, you could like land this, do like this, do like that. Wait for him to come back to top one and I'll show you. Give me a second, I'll showcase it, give me a second. Bruh. That's funny. Yeah, and that'll actually link. That's a true combo. And it's not too bad to hit. It's just it's not too bad. I probably should have just like did a pump out like that. But anyways, that also links. That's another really good combo for you. It's just again, after you land this, you have to really let that jump sit, and I'm so not used of it after the timing. My dare is easier to hit, so that's cool. So this became much easier to hit. There we go. Bam. So yeah, you just have to let things sit. Her combos, like I'm used to doing combos fast. Her combos are not fast. They're just time based, which makes her like hella easy to kill with whenever you slow things down. But I play very, very fast, so like my body is used to just, you know, playing very fast. But anyways, so that's like a lot of her combos. That's one of her better ones. Like, so you can make that a true linkage, the insta kills. And it's very easy to do on players because you have room to DI. Because remember how I said, like, after you do this move, you literally can like jump and then do the move, right? So yeah, I do apologize for the frame skip. It is making this hard to watch and hard for me to play on. But anyways, so now since you guys have all of that, let's talk about a few of her mix-up options, because like of course you can have all the combos in the world, you can have all of the movement tech in the world, you can know exactly what every button does, and you can still kind of be mid, right? So let's talk about like reads. So I'll actually delete this player because I believe that could be another reason why the lag is kind of going crazy, and we'll make it to where it's just my character. So one of the things that you can do with her kit is you can kind of immediately take a spot, right? So let's say if you threw this button and it landed, I actually put on a bot. So let's say you knew, after this land, you knew that it was going to land. But let's say you knew that this move, like for example, was going to send them off edge. So let's say you did this combo, right? Hold on, bro, I can't even do my counts because it's skipping so much. I literally can't do my counts because it's skipping so much. There we go. Let's say you did that one, right? And you knew that they were going to, you know, let's actually put them higher health, so that way we can kind of do this on like game simulated like health. So like this stops linking, right, after quite a while, right? So like you start to get this to stop linking, but this, the more a game goes on, the easier this is to link. So just keep that in mind with your kit. The harder that gets to link, and the more like you have to kind of time that, the easier that one gets to link. I don't know why that keeps happening. There we go. But that one gets easier over time. However, one thing that you can do is you can immediately follow it up into that, right? And that becomes an insta kill. So I want you guys to actually like keep note of that, stuff like that, because these becomes your insta kill moves. So try to get used to doing that into each other and a follow up or something like that, right? So you have a lot of insta kills with this character. You just have to actually know them. Like that's one of them right there. Even though that's kind of like a Superman kind of pressure, but like again, she has pressure. You just like, they're not like traditional. And for example, that's one of her like combo extensions. Like actually, hold on, give me a second. You can do that into that, right? So like you have a lot of pressure and a lot of combo kills. Bruh, this is a walking tragedy. Yeah, you kind of get it, and do the stuff that we talked about before, where after you hit this, you do that into that, whatever. Cool. So yeah, like you actually have insta kills off of this. This is kind of like a insta kill move for you. So like just know like that's a possible thing. I just like to do my nair. Now sometimes like your nair will not be there for you, like how you saw there, but it still does work. Just know like that sends, right? And that can be an insta kill option for you if they're a light character. Depending on where you're spaced, that'll make it to where that'll determine if it kills or if it doesn't kill, right? So right? Something like that. So like you can use that as a kill opportunity for you, which is also really, really good. But one of my favorite things to do with her is to like do this move. And since it's like you don't, like, for example, let's say you're really, really high on health, right? And this no longer connects anymore, right? So you see what I'm saying? That no longer connects. Bro, it's skipping so bad, it's not even funny. Yeah. You know what? I can't deal with that anymore. I'll just reset this real quick. Give me one quick second. I just want to see if it'll reset like the frame skip. It's like, because the thing about the lab is the longer you stay in it, the more like laggy it gets. It's like that with custom games as well. It's like this game is not made for, I don't know what all of that is, but hopefully it doesn't skip anymore. We're about to find out. There we go. That automatically feels better. Alright, cool. So we'll just go on, not crime lines. That map sucks now. They added that middle platform for some dumb reason. Let's put this back here. Cool. So now, like, this no longer links, right? So it's like, okay, what do I do then, right? So since this no longer links, your best bet is to kind of do something like that. But it's like, okay, well, that no longer links. So what do I do now, right? So then your option is like that, right? Because that kills, right? So that becomes your insta kill option. However, another option that you have is to do DI reading. So like a lot of your kit kind of comes from pressure, right? So like, for example, let's say we all know that links into that, right? Which is cool because you need that pressure. However, one thing that is like a big problem with her kit is it takes kind of time for you to get over there. So like you can do this move and then immediately like press and whatever, but it's just not, it's not like true. Now if it does hit, then cool, it hits. It's armor breaker, so that's cool. However, what I like to do is to do any move that's going to give me a hit, right? It sends them away, and then once it sends them away, I like to DI read, so like make a guess, right? So I'll do that. So what that does is that makes it to where if they jump over, they're immediately screwed, right? Because remember that there, if you aim it this way, right, if they get hit with the kick while it's going backward, it'll send them all the way into disadvantage. It'll actually kill. So actually get him. I'll see if he'll jump sometimes. Let's see if I can get him to jump. I'll see if I can get him to jump. Why does it keep doing that way? He's not gonna jump. Alright, cool. Anyways, I like to do that because it eliminates the jump option from them, and it makes it to where if they do jump, they get sent deep into disadvantage or it'll kill. But he's not going to jump. Who's a character that jumps a lot? It's still frame skipping. That's kind of a tragedy. Harley doesn't jump a lot. I believe Finn jumps a lot. No, Finn's gonna do his backpack. Maybe Grind Dog. We'll see. We'll see. Alright, cool. Anyways, I like to do this and then immediately put pressure with that button, right? Or I'll do this, and if you know they're going to go deep into like a hitbox or something like that, you can do that to kind of pressure them with that. Now this move you have to kind of space it and wait for them to get there like that. So like just be careful with that, but just know like if you land this move, you can like pressure with that hitbox and then being pressure with that hitbox as well. Another thing that I like to do is this is like my favorite one is to do this one because it has that double kind of hitbox, right? So if you jump like that and you bring it this way, right? So if you do like that, you can aim it, right, or whatever. My other favorite one is to do like this and there. That is juicy. Cause that immediately just kind of kills so many players. Now, again, this is easier to do now, but you have to space that button. But yeah, that's one of my favorite ones to do now because that's just feels so juicy to land, and it's actually not too bad, and people don't really expect it while you're pressing. And the good thing about it is after you do this, if you miss, you can immediately respace it, or you can do the kind of option selecting that I told you about, where if that miss, you can kind of do like that, or if you wanted to, you can do like this, like that, and then you chase after that. So I'll show you what that looks like. And then chase, right? So you have a lot of pressure whenever it comes to what you can do with Wonder Woman. So anytime you are in the high health and you do this, one of your best bet is to do that, right? I should try to space this like that. Now, if you aim it this way, why does it keep going like that? I don't know why it keeps doing that. I'm going, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. I did it again, my goodness. It keeps doing it. I swear to God that I'm doing like this, but the moment that like it's not happening, it's not happening. Anyways, there we go. So yeah, this is the one that I do the most, like that, because that'll send them and that'll kill. Like that's a very, very good kill opportunity right there. If they jump, then they're dead. Now, if you know that they don't jump, if they don't go up like that, and they go like they try to like cling to wall, your best bet is to dare, right? But if you know they're going to jump a little bit and you want something that's kind of going to be both of those options, you want to do your up air and then angle it backwards like that. Or you can do like that and link it into the wall and then dare, because that actually links, for example, like this, boink. I'll try to actually get the link to show you guys. Like you have a lot of like kill power. My goodness. I'll just try to get it once. Stuff like that, right? So you have a lot of like kill power potential. It links also into this if you time it perfectly, but it's really easy to link into your dare. You just have to like updo it. So it's possible. It just takes a little bit of practice. And right now my junk is just not able to be consistent at all. So yeah, just know you have a lot of like kill opportunities. You have to kind of build off of your DI reading. That's one of your easiest ones because it just sends, right? So yeah, you have a lot of options. Once you kind of get used to doing them, you kind of immediately just kind of get used to the pressure that you get from it. So like if that, again, if this misses, you can immediately like kind of fix it over with that. So I'll show what that looks like. Let's say that miss, you can follow it up with this. Actually try to miss that on purpose. See what I'm saying? You see how you can kind of just recover back. Now again, if you use the fast fall tech that we talked about, hold on. Give me a second. Hold on 1 second. Mess that up. Fast fall tech to re-chase, right? So remember how we talked about fast fall tech? If you haven't watched my movement guide, go watch that. It's also a really good one. You can also kind of just reposition yourself mid fight, so like you always have that option as well. See what I'm saying? Like, see how you kind of can reposition yourself. Just know like nothing is ever like truly like missed, like because of how fast you can move in this game. I don't know what the heck that was. That was definitely input error. So yeah, just know you have a lot of options whenever it comes to like what you can do with their kit, like that, right? And then you could just re-pressure, something like that. So you have a lot of pressure with her kit. I know I'm going like really long and this is a lot, but I really want to show you guys that this character really can like do a lot of things, and she has a lot of pressure, like a lot of pressure. And it just comes from actually you having movement. And if you miss with that, like I said, if you miss with that attack, doing like that, retake that mid really quickly. So yeah, like you really have a lot of pressure, even if like with this move as well. So like one of the really good ones, you could do like this and then hit with that, right? That's one of my favorite ones as well, just because that it has quite a bit of active frames. And if you miss normally, like you don't really go too deep, because like this move keeps your momentum, right? You get what I'm saying? But the other one, it kind of stops you. So like you can do this and then see how, oh bruh, see what I'm saying? See how it kind of stops you in your spot? So you can kind of use it as like a break pause or whatever you want to call it. And it also has a lot of knockback as well. So like it's another really good option. And again, if it misses, it's kind of a tragedy because you takes a little bit of time before you can jump dodge again, but it gives you time to fast fall, so that way you can fast fall J jump to get back to your spot. So yeah, it's a good one because it has a lot of active frames, but it's one of your worst ones if you do miss because you can't do movement tech right after. So if you're gonna do it, do that or whatever. Right. So yeah, so that way you can move around. But your fair is probably your best kill power move whenever it comes to like doing that final hit, just because it's very telegraphed and you can immediately cancel out of it, or your dare, right? Or simply doing your nair. Your nair can hold that spot really quickly, or if you don't want to do your nair, if you miss your nair, you can immediately cancel out of it, or if you don't want to do your nair, you can do your up air and then angle it the other way, so that way if you get this positioning right, you can do like that to where it actually will spike down and kill. So that's like pretty much like the majority of your stuff. Same thing with this one. Like if you know for a fact that that's not going to kill, you can simply just do this, try to get that to land. I'll actually showcase that. Give me a sec. A big jump. He might be too high. Yep, he's too high. Anyways, just doing this will kill as well sometimes. You can big boy jump to make that kill. The more you hold that jump, the easier that'll get to link. So yeah, that's also one of your kill moves, right? Like you can do like this into that. But yeah, you have a lot of like kill moves. Like this is a good kill move, right? That'll send. You have a lot of vertical kill power. Even doing this into this, if you can get that to link, it'll kill. But most of the time, you kind of just want to let that land because it'll kill naturally anyway. So if you wanted to be extra, you could, but probably just like land that and then just like be there for the follow up if it doesn't kill. Don't actually try to interrupt your down spike because your down spike just immediately sends, right? So you just kind of wait to see if it killed or not, and just kind of be up there, like just hover. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you have a lot of kill power, vertically and horizontally. All your kill power comes from this move right here, and then a follow up from it. This move as well. All your kill power comes from that move. So yeah. Other than that, that's pretty much everything about Wonder Woman. I literally showed almost everything that I know about her whenever it comes to her combos or just like DI pressure. Most of your pressure in this game comes from this, right? Also, that's actually one other thing I wanted to talk about. So, one thing I love to do in her kit, if you haven't watched me fight the top 14 player in the world, go watch that video when I played Wonder Woman. You'll see me actually do that quite a lot. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll use this as a neutral tool if like someone's aerial, because this hits above a little bit. So let's see here. I'm getting the jump. See what I'm saying? It hits you above you a little bit, right? So what's cool about that is if you do this move and you don't really know where somebody's going to be at, see how like right there you kind of like you can angle it, right? So remember how I told you how like you can do a side switch or whatever? So you can do this and angle it, you know, like that, or you can do it and angle it another. So like, let's say you're facing to the right, right? If you do the move, right, it's always gonna go in the direction that you're naturally going, unless you change directions, right? So in order to do that direction change, you have to do the thing that we were talking about, where you switch directions. For some reason it's not working right now. Like that. There you go. So the little side switch that we talked about, where you like that, and you can change directions with this move while you're doing it. So that's hella cool, because that makes it to where like you can do this move and then be like, okay, I want him to go this way, and then you do your pressure, link, whatever, right, to try to kill. So this is very important to your kit, because being able to control where you go is very important. So let's say you hit this move, but let's say you're like all the way on this edge and you don't want to send them that way. You can be like, all right, cool. I don't want to send them this way because that's going to lead them back into mid, right? So let's say you're here. Hold on, let me just make him stop jumping for a second. So let's say like you have them. I'll put him idle so that way he doesn't keep moving, because I want him to be to a specific spot. Right, so let's say he's here, right, and you hit him with this. You're like, well, I don't want to like I don't want to shoot him like into mid like this, right? Because then like I just gave up all the room. Like I'm like negating all the pressure that I could have had. And since this move is based off of where you are on the player, what I like to do is I'll do this and I'll do this just to switch directions, right? Or what I'll do is if like the spacing was a little bit tighter, so like if the spacing was a little bit tighter, so like let's say I did the move and like I was kind of like in between them like this, I'll purposely make it to where the hitbox hits them into the direction that I want, right? So you wouldn't want them to hit in that direction. You would want to do the side switch thing and then send them into that direction, right? So yeah, these are all pieces of her kit that really make sense. But also like another really easy one to do is just do this, right? And then do that, and then like do your pressure from there, right? Because remember how we talked about the side switch combo, right? So you can do that, right? Or you can lead into that if you want, or you could just simply do the side switch combo where you do this. Hold on one second. I'm actually trying to get this right. Give me a sec. Like that. You could even pressure some more, whatever, right? And imagine you did that on the edge, right? And again, you could do it like this. Pressure like that, whatever. You get what I'm saying. So yeah, you have a lot of like options for your kid. Just try to make sure that you're always trying to take advantage of like having them in edge or whatever. So like if you land this, like okay, bet I'm gonna do my movement to get myself up here, right? Do whatever and go crazy. So yeah, try to always make sure that you're pushing them into disadvantage and you're going crazy with your disadvantage state and your advantage state. And what I mean by that is like if you're in disadvantage, right, this button is god tier. Like you really don't have a disadvantage state because like she just has so many buttons that's kind of auto neutral in disadvantage. So like you have a lot of ways to get out of disadvantage, and also she can do wall tech, right, faster than any of the character can. So yeah, just her ability to kind of get out of disadvantage is kind of really freaking good. Same thing, like you can just simply like jump over here, lasso, kind of take that away from them, right? So she has a lot of like tools whenever it comes to disadvantage. Also, like let's say if she's all the way on the edge, I'll actually showcase this 1 second. I'll make him fight, put him on very hard, whatever. Let's get him to actually chase. See if he'll chase me. You can kind of like, I'll put this on instant cooldown so I can actually showcase this. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. He's not gonna chase. Do bots even go off the edge of the map? I don't think bots go off the edge of the map. Yeah, I don't think he goes off the edge. Instead of doing like that, you could actually like pull them into disadvantage. So, like, let's see if I can actually get it to happen once. Hold on, let's see if I can get it to happen. It's not hard to do. It's just the bot doesn't actually chase, so it's really hard to like read him. So like you can do like that, and then like yeah, see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's hella cool. That's one thing I really do love to do. Another really cool thing that you can do with her kit is this right here. So like, not too many characters can do this, but like you can like, 1 second. See if I can get it to happen properly. Bruh. I don't think I can do it now. That's crazy. Maybe they patched it. Bruh. I know Superman can do it really easily, but she and Batman also can do it really easily as well. Hold on. Bruh, I don't think I could do it anymore. That's crazy. I think they might have patched it out the game. Secret nerf? Anyways, she was actually able to do her dare and like not actually like get off like the ledge. Like you like that. Like without actually having to there was tech that you can do, so like you can do like that, and then like there we go, I just did it. It seems like it's just much harder to do now, but so like you can make it to where you can like save there, but the timing for that is so much more different. But I did it once, so we'll say that it's still in the game, but the timing for it is definitely not what it used to be. Just note that it is still possible. But yeah, like that's one thing that I used to use quite a bit, like that right there. Now you can still like kind of just short hop and get the same result, right? But being able to like get that little bit further out without actually having that the wall cling, right? So yeah, that's a really important piece of your kit without actually having to use resources like that, right? So like you having to use that resource is like a tragedy. But being able to have that kill power by doing that without actually being having to like use your resource, that's hella good. So yeah, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. So yeah, that's hella good, and it's actually not too bad. I just had to kind of get used to it again. I guess it's on different timing now, but yeah, that's hella good. Try to incorporate that into your gameplay. I guess I can still use my other tech where I do this. Yeah, I guess I'll just use that from now because that doesn't seem like it's nearly as consistent. So yeah. So if you guys didn't know, watch my movement guide part 3, where I talk about what that is, and that'll be a good way for you to kind of get a spike and then not have to deal with wall clinging or all of that while their teammates pressing you, and you're safe while you're doing it. So yeah, very cool pieces of her kit that I would recommend you guys getting used of. So now let's talk about matchups, because again I want this to be a one-stop shop. I know this video is long, but you guys know me by now, I don't really make short videos. So let's get into it. So against Tom and Jerry, again, you can reaction block to Jerry. You can stop all of his pressure. You can actually immediately kill Jerry by doing a few quick moves. So, oh, I picked the wrong character. Give me a sec. And I'll make him do his Jerry once. I'll just make him do that, and then I'll just kind of let him go crazy. Right, so once you have Jerry neutral, the way to kill him is to do one of those, and you can follow it up whatever. 2 of those will kill. One of your best ways to kill is actually to do this right here. Just like that, right? Because you're safe, you're armored, whatever, you're good. One second. You can do like that. That's another really good way to kill him. So you have a bunch of different options when it comes to killing Jerry. One of my favorite ways to do that, followed up with the down air. Your dares are really good at killing Jerry. You don't really have a one-stop shop for killing Jerry though. You can also do it with that one, like that, right? It's another good way to kill him. You don't really have that one kill like move though that kind of kills him. So you can do that into that. That's another good way that you can kill him. So yeah, just like know, like if you want to kill Jerry, like you have to like know which moves kill Jerry. Like one of my favorite ones to do is just to do the armor, because like while you're killing Jerry, the Tom and Jerry is going to press you. So like this one is cool and everything, it's fast, it's just you lose the armor. So I always try to do one with an armor. So I like to do this one just so that way I can like do it and then get out of there. And if they try to go above or whatever, then you're kind of good. But you could also like do like this and then like that, right? So you'd like do like that as well. If you know they're gonna like head up front like that. So yeah, you can also do like that. So you have many different ways to kill Jerry. Just know, like with Tom and Jerry, like if the Jerry is out of there, you want to kill him. So like that's like your goal, right? So, like getting the ability to kill Jerry without having to worry about the Tom kind of like getting in your way is really nice as well. So just try to kill Jerry as quick as possible. Again, you're seeing some of the ways you can kill him very quickly, while being safe. These are all really good options. However, you know, this character is going to be a hassle. Now, whenever it comes to dealing with like his game that's just neutral, but his Jerry shouldn't be a problem for you because you can just kind of auto like deal with his stuff. So Jerry's not really a problem for him. Let me do Wonder Woman. Hopefully, let's see if, because I don't know if she'll like glitch out. Let's see, or if she'll hold. Nah, she won't hold. So never mind, I won't do that. So yeah, whenever it comes to Jerry, you're kind of whatever. Morty can't really hang with Wonder Woman. He doesn't have the movement speed to do so, but him having that armored side special in the air makes him very hard for her to do a lot of her combo conversions off of, because he can kind of just cheese it and sometimes even punish. So you have to watch out for him aerially. He's a very cheesy character, Bugs Bunny, you can block his rocket now, so you kind of win that matchup. You have better neutral than him. Um, Even though Bugs Bunny has easy to do combos, Wonder Woman still has the combos whenever she's mastered to do it. Velma, and you can kind of count on her words, so like I feel like that's a good matchup. However, she can outrange you aerially, because her hitbox is also very very good. So her being above you, she can dare you, and like her hitbox is above her while her dare is going down. So she's very hard to kind of fight aerially. So even though you kind of like outrange her on the ground, she can kind of dust you up aerially, and her words kind of take away some of the pressure for you, since it forces you to either use your armor or it forces you to use your special, which can be baited, your side special on the ground. So yeah, Ryan Dog is kind of an iffy one. Ryan Dog can now put out more projectiles that are actually like forcing respect, because you can't just melee through them anymore, and that's one of the things a lot of like good aggressive Wonder Woman's did against him to kind of kill him, but now you can't do that with this kit. So he actually has a lot of pressure, which forces her to again use her movement or a dodge, or for her to use her side special to actually negate that projectile. Now again, you can immediately get out of the projectile, so it doesn't matter, but it's forcing you to do it, which means Ryan Dog can bait you, because Ryan Dog can charge a projectile and cancel out of it. So it's kind of a tragedy. Steven Universe is actually a really hard character to fight. People just don't really know how good this character is, but Steven Universe is a problem because he can actually just outrange or outplay her aerially, because of his like aerial quickness and his attack power. Like his knockback power is really really god tier. So you gotta be careful with Steven. As far as like his shields, you have a few things that you can do to kind of deal with the shields. Um, since you have great movement, you can really just kind of get over them. Um, you can break shields though. Like people are not breaking shields enough. She just doesn't have anything that's fast enough to actually break his shields really quickly. But yeah, you can break his shields. But Iron Giant, honestly, his character's trash. So like you should be able to automatically win against him. Just watch out for his cannonball. If he's ever above you, your goal is to hit him with your up air. Your up 2 can actually get you in more trouble because of his multi-hit. So try to do your up air because it hits above you and it puts your hitbox a little bit under you. So that's a little bit of a better move. Um, or to just simply do your up smash on the ground, because your shield doesn't count as a hitbox and it really does like kind of clip him easily. And you can lead into combos. Also, there's a lot of all the combos that we talked about on Iron Giant, they become 10 times easier. So like for example, this, all of that stuff becomes 10 times easier to do on Iron Giant. Like even this, he just becomes a walking like cakewalk of a character. Like Iron Giant is trash, bro. Even like your dare loops, all of that stuff becomes so much easier to do on Iron Giant. So yeah, like you can really like cakewalk this character, and the lower he is, the better it is for you. So like you can really just kind of cheese the heck out of that character. He's really not like, he's not him. So yeah, you can kind of cheese that character. Everything becomes easier whenever you go against Iron Giant. So he's kind of a cakewalk of a character. Now, also he doesn't really have anything that can contest with your dare now, especially after the hitbox changes. He's very very slow to the top. So just jump above him, dare him, and then start your loops. And like you cakewalk that character. Superman, since he's a lot easier to fight and he doesn't send you as far, you actually can kind of compete like combat wise with him, because Superman does have combos. It's just not well known, but he does have really nice combos that he can kind of loop you in. But the biggest thing about Superman that kind of makes him, you know, easier to fight is your nair. Obviously you can break his armor really really easily. Also your lasso is really good pressure because Superman doesn't really have range, and if you can read out a dodge, a simple whatever, he's kind of out of there. But Superman does have the best dash in the game, so he can be a problem because he can side switch really easily and he can kind of like press you. So if you're not prepared for that, he can kind of like cheese you out. Just know he also has a freeze that can slow you down, so it can be a little bit of a hard matchup. I do believe Wonder Woman wins in this matchup, but a Superman who knows his kid can counterplay you a lot. Wonder Woman v Wonder Woman, be better. Gizmo is actually a pretty hard matchup for Wonder Woman. She can take away his arrow with her shield, but because of the way that his arrow works, like he can charge it, he can bait it, so he can force you again to like he can just charge it and make you do it or whatever, and then you can switch up the timing for it. So you can charge and then it comes out faster, so it's harder to react to. You can lob it so that way it's slower, so it messes with your reaction, and then he actually punishes you. So like Gizmo is a very good 1v1 character. He's better in 1v1s than he is in 2v2s because he has the space and the time to work. In 2v2s, he's still a great character. It's just he's a lot better in 1v1s. I think he's one of the better 1v1 characters in the game because he can just auto neutral you easily, and he has hella good combos that send vertically like crazy. He can also kind of outdo you aerially because I believe he has some of the best aerial combat in the game. His active hitboxes are just very dominant, and he doesn't have to time anything. They just are dominant the whole time he's doing the move until it gets to the end of the animation or until he hits someone. And his follow-ups are good. If he had more movement or a better like a lengthier jump on the first one, this character would actually be like a problem. But he just takes some skill. But yeah, cool. Against LeBron, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of gutted LeBron a little bit after this patch because they changed his dare angle. So whenever you're going against LeBron, you really have to be very, very careful because he can do a lot of combos that can sauce you up, and his aerial combat is very, very good. And he also has really good movement as well. So LeBron can sauce you up if you're not used to the matchup. Whenever it comes to basketball, it's just going to bounce off your shield. You don't absorb it, so it really doesn't do you any good. So honestly, you kind of like want to jump over his basketball, so that way it forces him to go chase it. Kind of keep your distance from LeBron, so that way you have a little bit of time to react to basketball, because if he hits you with the basketball, he's comboing you up for quite a bit of damage. So yeah, Harley is a problem. She's always been a problem. You just have to like kind of out neutral her. But since she's much faster, it's harder to do that. So honestly, you just kind of have to just win the trade and try to kill her. Just know that, for example, whenever she does her aerial, her aerial down one or dare, you can actually like up two, and it kind of eats it sometimes, but also you can just dodge through it and then punish with your up two. So that's a really good way to kind of counteract that move. Whenever she does her hammer, like you're really not scared of her hammer because you have the range to kind of contend with it as well, but you have to know when to dodge and when to punish. But yeah, she's punishable. It's just her aerial dominance is much better than Wonder Woman. So, and then since she got that speed increase, like she can cheese. I'll actually show you what I'm talking about. So like I'm actually thinking about maining Harley because she's like that good of a character. Like her ability to do this, like that into that, and that being a true linkage, now like it's hella good. He's such a fat character. So like that being a thing, right? Her ability to just do all of that really quickly, like it makes it very hard for Wonder Woman to kind of like contest with Harley aerially. Like she can really put the pressure onto you, like really, you know what I mean? Now if you do this like grounded, so like this, I'll try to actually get this aerially. I won't be able to do this aerially. These guys, like their health is too high as well. I'll do it like this. He's still too high. I'll do it like whatever. So like that being a true combo, right? That changes everything for Harley. It's always been a true combo, but just like people actually using that makes it a really big problem for Wonder Woman. Because now you have to actually respect so much of her stuff, and she can just link you. Since Wonder Woman is a character that goes into the air quite a bit, right? Like Harley has the literally her and probably Steven Universe have the best like aerial dominance in the game outside of like Bugs Bunny, right? So like you really can't like do crap about those characters. Now once they kind of get you up there, you kind of just cheesed. you're just kind of donezo. You know what I'm saying? Like, so whenever you're going against a Harley, you kind of really just have to out neutral, but at the same time, you have to be very, very. You don't want to be above a Harley, because if you're above a Harley, you're kind of donezo. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind while you're doing her kit. She can kill you very, very quickly and very, very easily. So this is actually a pretty hard matchup for her, and since they remove her passive, she's still light, but Wonder Woman also got lighter. So like Harley has infinites that are easier to do than Wonder Woman's infinites. Uh, Much easier to do, and one Wonder Woman does much more damage in her infinite, so it's like it becomes it becomes multi. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. It becomes harder, like the more you do the move, like the theirs and the infinites with the theirs, they become harder to do as like time goes on. So like getting Wonder Woman's infinite to get all the way up to 78. I've only done it like 3 times in my life. That's how hard it is. Because you have to position for all of it. It's not as easy as just 1-2 jump 1-2. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to actually use skill for her infinites, but they are possible. Her infinites are much easier to do. So this is a problem. Arya, you already beat Arya before patch. Now since she actually has to time that stuff, if she whiffs and you have that little like, I'll actually showcase. I'll make her be an Arya, and I'll make her do her up special. And we get back to her. So like now after patch, like this doesn't work anymore, right? So that little follow up after that, like her little double light, that doesn't work anymore. So like you can DI like in or away or whatever, right? So like, see what I'm saying? Like, see how you can kind of DI like into whatever. Yeah, you can like DI in or away. So now like it makes it to where that's not guaranteed anymore. So like in order for her to land that, like she kind of has to actually time that. So if she missed that first one, you can actually like immediately just dodge and then punish. So yeah, like she got worse, much worse. And you already had options to beat her dagger. Like you had all kind of stuff. You can cleanse dagger. I'll show you what that looks like. Why do they keep going the other way? What is, bro? What is with that? I don't know, man. This, bro. The lab gets worse and worse after every patch. I swear. Like, what are they looking for? What are they aiming at? Why are you loading a new level? Oh, okay. I guess that's why. Right. So like, whenever you get that, you can just kind of like. Hold on 1 second. She's auto doing it. You can kind of cleanse like that, right? So yeah, you just immediately just like beat Arya. Arya is not a character that can compete with you. Not really. Now Finn is a different story. Finn has a sword to compete with your range, so Finn is one of your harder matchups. Also, another big problem with Finn is that he can't. I'll actually showcase it here, so that way you guys know what I'm talking about. Finn is a character that can. Oh, she's still doing her crap, so we'll turn her off. So Finn is a character that can like, he can do this, right? And grab this and then throw it, and he can get a combo off of it, right? So that completely just makes him auto neutral you. And he can immediately grab it like that. He can throw it up right there, like, and then like come back like this, right? So like, let's say if you're off edge, right? He can like throw it like this. Hold on. He can throw it like this and then like hit you from like that, like without you knowing it. So like, Finn has like an answer for everything. So he's a very hard character to fight whenever you go against a good Finn. So like, good Finns really kind of just auto neutral you. So yeah, like, there's really no counter to a good Finn. And then his backpack is better. Everything, but bro, Finn did not need to get buffed. That character's already too good before, and then they buffed him, and now he's just ridiculously too good. So yeah, Finn is a problem child. He's a really hard matchup for Wonder Woman because he can outspace you. And your frame data does not compete with this. He has good aerial gameplay, but he doesn't have the aerial dominance that Wonder Woman does, so you can kill him. It's just, if you're on the ground, he's going to out neutral. You have to get Finn in the air, and then you have to deal with backpack while you're aerial, so it's not an easy matchup for Wonder Woman. Jake is kind of the same. He can just auto kind of kill Wonder Woman with his hitbox cheese, and he's still not punishable. Jake is the best 1v1 character in the game now. Batman got a little bit worse because you can kind of clank with projectile characters and stuff like that. So like Jake is like dominant in 1v1s. I think he's actually the best 1v1 character in the game now. Garnet, you really can kind of cheese Garnet because your movement is better than her, so you can get to the spot. But good Garnets are like really freaking good. Hold on. Garnet can do like a lot. She can really kind of cheese people, and a lot of people don't really know like how to play her, so it can be a bit of a problem going against Garnets. She has armor to compete with your armor, so you have to just kind of outsmart her and play a little bit more patient. You can't just run in. You have to know when to whiff punish and when not to go in because she can't cheese you like that. Taz is a walking L for you. He can immediately break your armor with his dare, and his like gameplay is very good. And he takes away like honestly another really good 1v1 character in this game. Probably one of the better 1v1 characters is Taz. Taz can kill very easily and very quickly. And the moment you get chicken debuff, you're dead, like insta dead, like because you get that movement speed like reduction. If he sends you off ledge, you're insta dead. So like this is actually a very hard matchup for you. The cool thing about it though is that you kind of have a trade-off since your shield technically blocks projectiles. I actually showcase this. Give me 1 second. I'm showing you guys all my little tips. So yeah, I'll make him do his normal attack, right? Now this is considered a projectile. So like see what I'm saying? Like you can like do it. That's considered a projectile. So you can actually like punish him for that, right? Right? So yeah, like you have a lot of tools whenever it comes to beating Taz with that move, right? So that's cool. Also for his down special. So you kind of like take away a lot of his pressure, but also with his nair, like his neutral air, you can do it for that one as well. And that's his best move. You can just kind of eat it. So yeah, like you have some counterplay, but not really. Taz is just a god tier character now. Like they over tuned the heck out of him. When it comes to Batman, again, you can reaction block his batarang, so it kind of takes away all of his pressure. However, if you're gonna get the good Batman, they won't make it that easy for you because you can do so much tech with Batman. Batman's actually another character I'm gonna be making a guide on for you guys. Like for example, like he can like do stuff like this, right? And then it's like, how do you deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody tell me please, how do you deal with that, right? And you can even do like this. So like you can throw them out, and then like please tell me how like you deal with that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that move becomes a walking like okay, auto neutral, right? You know what I'm saying? So like character can be very cheesy, very cheesy. See what I'm saying? Like so batarang, bro. Like people like the majority of players still don't know how to use batarang properly. But once people learn just how broken this move really is, like I'm pretty sure people would gravitate to this move because this move is actually hella cheesy. But yeah, it's a hella good move, man. Like this, like there's no counter to Batman. Honestly, he's just getting worse for like mids, but high level Batmans, bro. There's no counter to a Batman. He's too good. His frame traps, his 50, 75, 25s, pressure, all that stuff. Like he's a good character. He will always be good. So yeah. Then let's talk about Shaggy. So Shaggy is a character before the patch. Like he really could just kind of just cakewalk Wonder Woman because he had armor and armor breaker on that down one move, which really just kind of broke offense for Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman kind of has to be close on the ground, and aerially he has like attack priority over her, so he was able to kind of cheese her aerially as well. But since the changes came to the hitboxes, side special doesn't feel as hard to deal with on the ground or the air, so you can actually interrupt easier now. However, Shaggy still has dumb hit confirms. He still has his infinites. He still can cheese as much as he wants to. Like, Shaggy is still a god tier character. So you still have to deal with his infinites. You have to deal with all of his pressure. So like this. Hold on one second. So like you still have to deal with like all of his pressure. So all of that is still like a combo linkage. All of this is true pressure. So like you still have to deal with him being like Shaggy. So like he still has his infinites. I'm not doing it right now, but you could basically like do this into that, or this into that, that. So like you just have to like infinite, and like you can still get like these as well. Like so like he still has all of his pressure. So like Shaggy is still gonna be comboing you up and making you look silly, and he still has all of his kill power. He still has his wave, not wave, his save stack. So like. Yeah, Shaggy is still a dumb good 1v1 character. He says his attack priority on his neutral, his nair, and his fair. All of those moves are very, very good still. His fair feels more easy to kind of play against because the range on it is not as much as it used to be, but he still has attack priority. Like if you're close by, his is going to win. So yeah, you kind of have to outspace your fair with his little stubby fair. But if you're too close and like you do your nair against his fair is winning every single time. So yeah, Shaggy is a good character. He still has his armor breaker, so he can kind of cheese you, and that move is still god tier because he can still animation cancel all of it. So like the fact that he can like do this and then kind of like move around. Right, so like you do the move, and you kind of just charge it, whatever. Now I feel like the move definitely does have a little bit more like whiff recovery than it did before, but the move is still like really easy. Like you just throw it out and you're kind of just there, right? Yeah, this is a good character. Always will be good. I don't think they are ever going to nerf him because he's like mid friendly. But yeah, just know it's not really like a bad matchup for you, and it's not really a good matchup for you. It's just who's ever better, because she has infinites or like really easy combos, but his combos are much more easier to do. I just said more easier. What am I saying? His combos are much easier to do, but Wonder Woman can and will sauce him up if he's not careful, because he's a lot lighter than he used to be, which makes it a little bit easier for you to deal with. But yeah, that is all of her matchups. You can kind of deal with his sandwich easier now because your projectile actually kind of just tanks it. Same thing with Rocket. So you can still get hit by it though if you don't time it right. And sometimes, like, I don't know if it's a bug, but sometimes I'll still get hit by it. Sometimes I won't. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but I do believe that she can block heavy projectiles, and it works with the Rocket, but sometimes I'll still get hit by sandwich even though I blocked it. So I'm not sure what's the deal with that, but yeah, that is all of her matchups for you. She really is in a good spot because she can play against every character except Jake and Finn, and that's pretty much it. Like all the other characters she can play against, but Jake and Finn are like her two worst matchups, honestly. These two characters are kind of a tragedy for her. But yeah, everyone else is like, okay, I can do it. Again, he can kind of like be a problem if you haven't fought him enough. He can be a problem whenever you go against a high level one, and all the rest of the characters. This Taz can be a problem as well. But there is some counterplay, so you can kind of like balance it out. But he's still a freaking good character. Like you have to play very patient against him. But yeah, that's pretty much everything. Like, hopefully this video was very informative. I know it was hella long, but I wanted to put everything that I know in here, especially the combos, because I don't see anyone in this game using her combos like to that extent. And there's still so much more to figure out with her kit. For example, let me actually turn him off for a bit. There's so much more that she can like do. So like for example, Like a lot of people have just started figuring out that like you can like do this and then follow this up into like other moves as well. So like let me see if I can actually get the link here. It's like little things like that, right? People are starting to learn that this links. So like now you can like let me see if I can get it here. Now you can get like those things to link and like combo off of. I can't get it to happen, but if you ever do get this move to land, like just know like you can link that into that as well. I did a jump, but there was no need for a jump there. Right? So like just knowing that you can get that completely opens up what you can do with your kit, because now like this becomes a thing, right? So now you can do that off of that. So like just knowing that you can link, because this move is used like the most in her kit probably outside of this move. So knowing that you can get that linkage off of that really does help her case, because now she can kind of like play a completely different way, right? So like doing that is so good for her kit. And also if you get that land to hit right there, that's an easy combo every time. But yeah, she just has so much stuff. Like there's so much depth to this character that still is not being used, and I'm happy that that's the case. But there's so much that you can do with her kit. Like for example, even fitting this into that, you can also do this into that links. So like you can link that into that as well. So like again, like I said, you use this move pretty much for everything in her kit. So like actually like using that is just, you know, it's going to get you like all the things. Now there's this weird bug in the lab that like makes it to where this kind of like does like weird like overdrafts, but you know, like you have a lot of combos that you can do with her kit, right? So yeah, she's a very, very fun and cool character, and she has a lot of aerial dominance. There's so much depth to this character. So thank you guys for watching this video. That is everything that I have to kind of show you guys. Again, this is a fundamental character. You have to know movement, you have to know your hit confirms, your kill confirms, all of that stuff, like setups and set play, frame traps, all that stuff, because she has a few bit of them. Either way it goes, like you have to know your character, because you're not getting an easy character to play. For example, this into that, right? That's one of your frame traps. It's also one of your hit confirms as well. Like if you line this, so let's say you were too close and it brought him back in. Hold on. Right, let's say you're too close and it brought him back in. Let's say he dodged that ability, right? It's just one of your good frame. You know what I'm saying? It's one of your good frame traps. You can just kind of cheese with that move. So it's a very, very good move for you to kind of use. And since your dare got better, dare farming is going to be much easier for you to do. So yeah, Wonder Woman feels great. She feels good. You do feel the movement speed nerf. However, let's talk about perks now. So whenever it comes to Wonder Woman, I personally love to use triple jump, just because it allows me to get that extra button there to get those kill confirms that I'm looking for, and just to stay aerial enough. But also it allows for me to make it to where if I do get a hit and I jump, like I'm able to momentum jump back to the spot, because having that extra jump, again, like one jump is all you need to like with Wonder Woman. Like having this one jump, right? That one jump changes everything, right? Right? So like that right there, that one jump changes everything. Right? Just that one jump right there, right? So like being able to like have movement in this game is really, really important. So yeah, like just that one jump can change so much. And if you have that to where you like, let's say you did a move or whatever, just having that one extra jump, that could determine from you being like able to just go like right here to you being able to go all the way from here. So I love having triple jump. Now to counteract the movement speed nerf, I always run speed force assist, because this makes all of your movement faster, all of it. And if you ever did stack this perks still don't stack in the lab for some reason. Like it's been like this for like a whole month now, so I don't know what's going on with this game, man. Like they're not able to get it right. So kind of is what it is. But Yeah, they're still not able to get this junk right. Perks still don't stack in the lab. So like for example, see what I'm saying? Perks still don't stack. Yep. So I don't know, bro. Like I don't know what they're doing. It's not ever gonna stack. So yeah, it would be nice for people to see the difference that this makes. This is your best perk now for your kid alongside triple jump. And I just run I dodge, you dodge, we dodge because I dodge a lot and it gives me my armor faster and my lasso faster. I would not recommend using CoffeeZilla. It doesn't do enough, and if you're a good character, you're gonna dodge at least one attack before you get the cooldown again. So this is just a better perk overall, especially if you dodge multiple attacks. And yeah, and then again, this is a very, very good one as well. I would use this whenever you go against Iron Giants. You can immediately delete bolts, and that's pretty much everything about Wonder Woman. There is some more tech that I have for Wonder Woman, but I'm not really gonna go over all of that stuff. Like there is some like wall like kill confirms that you can do. Like for example, instead of always fishing for like this right here, instead of always fishing for that, sometimes it's actually beneficial for you to actually like do this. Let me see if I can actually get him to. No. I wish I could just put. I'm gonna just put in Mito because I really don't have to. I don't feel like dealing with all of that. I'll have to be quicker. We'll just be quicker. I'm just trying to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. Oh, he falls too fast. That's a tragedy. I'll just do it off a move that's quicker. He still falls too quick. I just want to show you guys this. So you guys can know that there's more counterplay. Yeah, he's falling too quick. I won't be able to do it. Anyways, basically like you can like instead of always going for your dare or always going for this, right? If you get really low and you hit this, it'll make them bounce off the wall, right? So like again, there's really not like too many ways for me to showcase this. So like if you like land this and it makes them like bounce off the wall, you can like do this and then like follow it up into that, right? Or you can do this and then jump over and follow it up into it there. So you can like you can follow it up into like this and then there, right? Like that. So there's a few options that you have there. Also another thing you can do is like kind of how you saw me do earlier. You can like do like this. Let me get it. Reset here. You can like do like this and then so like you can jump off, do like this and then finish off with that. That can kill off of edge very, very quickly. So like always going for a dares is not too good because you can just kind of like you can get the move and then nothing happens from it. But just know like you can get some pretty quick dares just by doing this. I don't know why that. I think the seasick is bugged. For Wonder Woman as well. That might be the explanation because I don't know, like I'm literally holding down the whole time. I don't know why an up air is coming out. But yeah, so that's another good way for you to like kind of like cheese, right? You can kind of like reposition very easily with her, right? Which makes her very, very good to kind of play with. So yeah, her movement allows for her to kind of just immediately cheese, right? So you have a lot of options. And let's say if this misses, you can kind of do like that and then pressure off of that, bomb, whatever. So yeah, you have a lot of options. So yeah, she is a character that has a lot of sauce and a lot of like depth to her. So try not to just be stuck doing the simple things with your kid. She can be crazy, hella crazy. So yeah, that is everything that I have on Wonder Woman. We out. Deuces.